simpleitaliancooking.com. My name is Liz. Thank you so much for watching this video. Today we're going to make a ricotta pie. There are many different ways to make a ricotta pie. Some people like to add in candied orange or seedless raisins, but today our recipe is going to be a nice basic ricotta pie, which is going to be almost like a custard, and at the end we're going to add some wonderful confection sugar and some chopped strawberries. To get started, we have 1 1/4 pounds of ricotta cheese. So we go ahead and add that into our big bowl. And put this over here. We have 3 egg yolks. Now I saved the egg whites because we have to add those in later, so make sure you separate them. And we just want to add in the egg yolks. Then we add in a little pinch of salt, 3 tablespoons of sugar. I don't want to add too much sugar because we're going to be adding it on top at the end as well. So we put that in. And we have 1 tablespoon of flour, white flour. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use a mixer and we're going to mix it very well until it's smooth for about 2 minutes. If you're doing it by hand, it would take about 5. I'm using the whisk attachment with my mixer. We'll be back in just a moment. I finished mixing my ricotta mixture. You can tell it's very, very smooth. You would never guess that ricotta was in here. So I'm going to push this aside, and we're going to take the 3 egg whites and pour them into a larger bowl because we're going to now mix them also with the whisk attachments. We're going to mix them until they turn into nice stiff peaks. And this will take about 5 minutes. Our egg whites have nice peaks to them. It actually only took me about 1 minute using the whisk on high speed. If doing it by hand, it will take longer. But for this time, it only took me about a minute. You can tell when it has peaks when you go like this. Well, it's hard to see, but when you lift it up a little bit, the foam, the egg whites, they don't go right back down. If they remain high, looking like a peak, then you know you've got nice stiff peaks. And that's what we have. And so we're going to now fold it into our larger bowl of the original ricotta mixture. And we're going to gently fold it in using a spoon. And you just want to do it very gently. Okay, we have our egg whites folded into the mixture. Now I'm using a springform pan. You can also just use a nice deep cake pan. That's fine as well. But what we need to do is we need to flour the pan. So spray it with some cooking oil. And then what we do is, which I have already done, and we're going to add the flour. You put some flour in here, and then it's best to do this over a sink. And then what you do, once you get it coated, you just kind of tap it and shake it around so it's nice and even. And then you just dump the excess flour into the sink. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now, and I'll be back in just a minute. All right, my pan is nicely floured, as you can see. And what I'm doing, and you don't have to do this, but I like to do this, is I cut a piece of parchment paper to fit in the bottom, and I'm just going to go ahead and lay that down. Next, we're going to gently pour the mixture, and the mixture should be very airy, and it's a nice consistency. And we're just going to gently pour this in, and then we're going to put it into the oven, which is preheated to 375 degrees, and we're going to bake it for about 35 minutes. All right, this is the last bit in here, and we get that so it's nice and even. And you can also just give it a little toss like this, and it'll spread nicely. All right, so we'll go ahead and put it in 35 minutes, 375. We'll be back in just about a half an hour. The ricotta pie has come out of the oven, and it looks and smells wonderful. One thing is when you first take it out, it'll be nice and puffy and big. It will deflate, so don't be alarmed. And this is what it will look like. Now, I need to let this cool for a few hours before I cut it in slices and top it with some strawberries and confection sugar. So we'll be back. We're back and our pie has cooled, and I've sliced it and cut it into pieces and put some strawberries on top with some confectionate sugar, and it's going to taste great. If you would like to go ahead and use this recipe for your own home, feel free to do so. Just visit my website at www.simpleitaliancooking.com, where you can print out the recipe for free. And while you're there, make sure to sign up for my weekly newsletter, where you'll get additional recipes and cooking tips and information that I know you'll enjoy. Well, again, thank you so much for watching this video. Molti grazie e ciao!